It is time now for Political Breakfast, a live version this morning. Joining me are strategist Tharon Johnson and Brian Robinson. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we're going to start chatting, hopefully, about something we do often. We talk about Stacey Abrams and where is she and what she's doing. And now we know she is not running for governor in 2026. Brian, any surprises on there for you?
I think it's the right move for her. It's the right move for Georgia Democrats. I think that party is ready to move on. I think it is ready and eager for new voices. I know a lot of up-and-coming younger Democrats, sort of the older millennials, younger X's, are folks who were eyeing higher office and really felt like Abrams had a stranglehold on who could run for what. And she kind of owned the lane if she chose to run for governor. Even Jason Estevez, who's running for governor, was waiting to see if she would run and said that he wouldn't run if she did. So I think it's the right move for her and a time for the Democrats to turn the page.
Tharon, is it true? Is the Democratic Party ready to move on from Stacey Abrams?
Well, this announcement this morning is met with a lot of gratitude and respect for former leader Abrams. I mean, listen, Stacey Abrams, while she has decided not to run as a candidate for governor a third time, she is still going to be very instrumental and very essential to Democratic success in Georgia, not just in 2026, but we have a presidential election coming up in 2028 and beyond. And so, no, we're not moving on from her in its totality. It's just that she has decided in January of 2026 that she's not going to run as a candidate for governor. Now, what this does, Lisa, is that there are very few people who have been kind of waiting to see what Stacey Abrams is going to do as far as financial contributions and who they were going to endorse. But ultimately, we have a great list of women and men on the ticket for all the constitutional offices that will be available. But no, she still will be very a part of the Democratic machine. She built it. She helped get us close and put Georgia on the map. So she's got to definitely stay involved.
Yeah, Brian, she says she's going to continue her work fighting against what's happening in Washington under President Donald Trump. Do you think she can make a dent there?
Well, she certainly has the ability to have a national profile. I haven't seen that of late. We haven't seen her on The View, on late night TV shows, all those things that she did, that celebrity Stacey Abrams persona. I do think she is an effective and capable administrator and activist. I think she's very smart. I also think that in 2018, she had the ability to have a really good brand. She had a great brand that year, one that almost won her the governorship. And since then, the brand value has diminished rapidly. It is a bruised brand. She kind of started playing to the fringes a bit in her discussions, as opposed to the centrist approach she took in 2018, which is much more appealing in Georgia. So I don't know that she would have been a great candidate if she had chosen to run again, because the brand is so much worse than it was 8 years ago.
What about you, Tharon? You think she can make some dents on a national level?
Well, just because we don't hear and see her in Georgia a lot doesn't mean that she's not working for the people that deserve a voice in Washington. And not just in Washington, I mean, all over this country. The brand is still intact for Stacey. Yes, she lost for governor twice, but she's gone on to be a international sort of strategist, and she's also an author. She's written an amount of books. She's actually teaching, some of our young students in some of the higher ed institutions around the country. And mark my word, I mean, she will definitely, Brian, come back to Georgia and find a way to get under the Republican skin. She did it when she was in the legislature. Yes, she worked across the aisle, but let's not act like this woman did not almost make history in Georgia in 2018. And while the 2022 showing wasn't that good, but she definitely is going to be a person that national donors, national organizers still call to get her input and her sort of direction of how they should play in Georgia.
Yeah, Tharon, you mentioned the legislature. The new legislative session opens on Monday. House Speaker John Burns has laid out his priorities for this year's session, and topping that is property tax reform. Brian, what are your thoughts there?
Burns had a great line yesterday. It's homeowners shouldn't have to pay rent on their own homes to the government. And he talked about the American dream and making sure that young Georgia families can buy homes and that older Georgians or those on fixed incomes are able to stay in their homes. No one loses it because of rapidly rising property values that leads to higher taxes. And I can say from my work in politics, the property tax issue is the one that voters talk about. And that's the top of the list when it comes to the tax that they want to see, discussed and reformed in some way. So this plays directly into voters' number one issue this session, which is affordability. And so it gives Burns a chance to lead on the issue of most importance to Georgians in an election year where the Georgia House really is the front lines of Georgia politics, is where Democrats think that they have the best chance of making advances, other than the statewide, which I think they feel pretty bullish on too right now. But the House is central to Georgia's politics moving forward. Watch what Burns does. Also note what he did on literacy, helping to make sure that we're all reading on grade level by third grade. He is passionate about that, and I am too.
Tharon, let's get your thoughts on the tax reform issue. Is Burns correct in linking property tax reform with the American dream?
Well, what House Speaker Burns is doing is that he's paying attention to, as Brian said, what a lot of residents across the state are concerned about. But property tax has been for decades a number one concern, and figuring out how we can lower them. And quite frankly, folks want to eliminate them. But I have to think that the local municipalities and counties are very concerned about this legislation. Not saying they haven't been vocal about it, but I definitely think the speaker has got to make sure that if you start eliminating or reducing property tax, then how does that affect the local governments and the entities? How do they recoup that funding that will be taken away from them? Many of these municipalities across the state of Georgia have done things already to try to lower property taxes for people, particularly seniors. And so, yeah, we as Democrats definitely have been talking about affordability. We welcome the Republican Party to finally start talking about affordability. And Speaker Burns is the best person to actually do that because he has respect on both sides of the aisle. But also, Lisa, really quickly, I was very proud of the speaker's sort of tone. We got to remember, it's not always been a great relationship with the Senate. The Senate abruptly ended last session while the House was still in session. And so for the speaker to come out and say, nope, there's no hard feelings there. He's at least trying to calm the waters a little bit while the Republicans have lost some unexpected seats. I think that we got to wait and see what's in the details. And we also have to wait and see what's going to come out of the Senate and what's going to be prioritized in both chambers.
Okay, quickly, we got 30 seconds. In one word, Brian, what do you think should top the legislature's list this session?
Affordability.
Tharon, you next. Give me one word.
Medicaid expansion.
Medicaid expansion. Thanks to both of you, as always, for your perspective. We'll check in again real soon.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
Amplifying Atlanta, this is listener-funded WABE.